Good morning and welcome to Greece. My name's Andrew and I live here, specifically here because this is our little apartment in Athens, Greece. We are renovating it, as you can probably see, we're in process. And what's happening today? Well, today we're going to take out the bathroom. We're going to build a couple of walls, small walls, just to fill in some doorways. And then we're going to follow, hopefully, the plumber and the electrician as they rewire and replumb this place. So I hope you enjoy. Oh, and there's also a new front door to have a look at. But I do have a couple of videos already on this project. So if you want to see progress to date, have a look back at my channel and watch those. I hope you enjoy. This is the last look we'll get at the bathroom. I'm quite relaxed about this. It's going to be knocked out. The tiles are coming off the floor and walls. And so bathroom demolition has begun with the sink going. Pronto. So, in typical Greek building style, they have concreted the bath into the floor, which is fantastic, so it has to be cut out. But you can see they really build these things in. And it's free. Good cut. This bath is heavy. Big, heavy concrete, cast iron concrete. Got concrete on the brain. Big, heavy cast iron. But you can see in here just how high the floor level is raised above the basic concrete floor, because you can see with the bath, they didn't bother to raise it. It's probably about 4 inches or so beneath the level of the tiles as they stand at the moment. So, 3 o'clock and the builders have finished today, as per the law. And I have to say, progress has been slow today, but they've worked extremely hard. So, the door connecting the two apartments has been prepared for filling tomorrow with a wall. And the main thing, of course, is the bathroom here. So you can see it's empty. There are still tiles on the wall and there are still tiles on the floor. These all have to be removed tomorrow. As well as the walls built between the two doors. But you can see this has been extremely hard going for them today. They have been at it for 6 hours taking these tiles off the walls. I don't know why people didn't use grout in the 70s, but they didn't. I guess it was cheaper for them just to do it this way. But it's been a nightmare for them to take apart. Demolition work is complete, at least the initial demolition work. So I'll just show you what's been done very quickly. And then today we're having a new front door fitted, and tomorrow the electricians are coming, so then we'll follow that. So firstly, this wall here has been built. Now, he did a really good job on this. It took him about half a day. It's 20 centimetres thick, obviously separates two apartments, but he's done a fantastic job on it, I think. Obviously, you've seen it before, but we've raised the height of this wall to the ceiling, so at least it opens up this hallway a bit. And then coming down to the bathroom, you can see down here, we've taken out the floor, and the bathroom itself, well, you know, it scares me a little bit. It's the first time in this project I've been a little bit scared because of the walls in particular. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to finish them, or if I need to finish them before we do the tiling. I think once we get some white tiles in here, we get some lighting in here, etc., it won't be bad. The great news is, because the floor here is lower in this section that was under the bath, it's perfect for me to put a shower in. So we should be able to have a floor level shower, which will be fantastic. But it is a little bit scary, this bathroom. They cemented the tiles directly onto the wall. It took 2.5 days to get them all off, and clearly has a little bit of work to do before it's usable. Then there is a wall here. So we've blocked up this doorway. Now at the moment it appears a little bit dark, I know, but I really wanted to walk through into the kitchen rather than straight into the lounge, mainly because of its proximity to the bathroom and the fact that we're going to use this area here as a laundry area. And then finally, obviously, in here, the tiles have been removed from the walls. We have a similar situation in here, and for some reason it doesn't scare me as badly. I think maybe because I can see it more clearly. So perhaps I shouldn't feel quite as bad about the bathroom, because I think I could probably tile straight onto these, to be honest. They're very flat. They may look a little bit scary, but they are very flat. And then we have, obviously, the opening through to the living room. I've been debating exactly where to put furniture, not that we have any furniture yet, but I've got plans for it and I think it will work very well. So that's 3 days' work. I think they've done wonders, to be honest, in the last 3 days. And you can see it's not bad. A little bit of work to do, but we've started and we've made some progress. So I'm now waiting for the door fitters to come. So the guys are here, as promised. They're taking the door out. It's coming out rather easily for something that's been there 50 years. Just like that, the door is out and the old door frame gone. And drive these pins into the wall. So they then weld the frame to the pegs that they stuck into the wall earlier on. It's actually nice to see something going in rather than being taken out for once.
Hello. Hello.
No. It actually has a 20-point locking mechanism. No, a 20-point locking mechanism rather than a 16. You can see all the pins that go in. 8 at the back, 12 at the front and top. And we have a new front door. I must say I'm rather pleased with it. It looks, I think, fantastic compared to what we had previously. Let me just show you the other side very quickly. I think it looks very good. Really good, to be honest. As I said, 20-point locking mechanism. We have a security key. And when you shut the door, there's a little rubber band that effectively drops down and seals the door at the bottom. So I think, all in all, for €800 installed, that is not a bad job. Be a little bit more in the UK, I can tell you that now. So just before the electricians begin, you can see they delivered some of their items yesterday. I just wanted to show you some of the prep that I did yesterday afternoon prior to their arrival, shall we say. Very quickly, you can probably see, hopefully see, on the wall here, I've marked up the wall lights. I've marked them everywhere, the positions, the locations, very clearly because I want them all in the right places. And then I've also marked things like plug sockets on the wall and so on. Now, if we turn around and look at the kitchen, and this is probably just me, but I've also marked out, I think relatively clearly on the wall, the location of the actual units and the appliances, because that makes it much easier then to decide not only where the plugs and the cables and so on need to go, it makes it very clear for the electricians to see and have a look, but it also means that I can check the kitchen actually fits and works, which I'm pleased to say I think it probably does. It's probably overkill, it's probably unnecessary, but it's something that I quite like to do, to be honest. Good morning, the electricians are here. This is Giannis. Giannis and I have known each other, 20 years. Maybe 20 years, I think so. Yes. And this is Miltos. So, good morning. We're all going to be working this morning. So, the electricians have started. They reckon it's going to take about 4 days. And what they're doing is very simple, but extremely noisy and very messy. So, they're starting with this distribution box. This is where all the fuses are. They're replacing this and the fuses with something modern. And then all the cables that run from this to all the plug sockets, all the lights and so on are being replaced. Now, the way they do this in Greece is very simple, basically. They run conduit, plastic tubing, if you like, through all the walls, and they like right angles. Electricians in Greece really like right angles. You can probably see that here. So what they're doing, if you can see, is they're channeling out where the existing electrical cables and conduit are at right angles. They'll put junction boxes. They always put junction boxes. Maybe you can see the original ones here. They always put junction boxes at these corners. And they will replace all the plastic tubing in there and then run cables through, so that supposedly in the future, it's very easy to replace cables and maintain. But as you can see, it's very easy to replace cables and maintain. There's a little bit of mess on the floor at the moment because they're channeling everything out and replacing it all. But it is 50 years old and it does need doing. Most of apparently the mess, and there is mess, trust me, will be finished today, and then there'll be wiring for the next couple of days. Now what they, Miltos here, what they will be doing is coming back once the plastering's been done, because clearly this is why the plasterer won't quote until all this work's been done. They'll be coming back once the plastering's been done to actually fit the lights, the light sockets themselves and the plug sockets, because obviously when they're plastering, you don't want those in place. And it's interesting, just quickly here, you can see they've removed the roller shutter for this window so they can run conduit through. This window's being replaced anyway in about 3 weeks. This will have to be boarded up and also plastered. So there's a lot of work going on and a lot of mess. So the electricians have just left for the day. It's been a very, very messy day in terms of build, dust and noise, so I've left them to it, to be honest. But I just want to show you very quickly where they've got to. So we'll have a very quick look round, and they're back tomorrow morning. So, as I said, Greek electricians like right angles. And basically you can see here, for example, the new trunking with the new sockets in place. And what they've done is effectively in every room, they've run a conduit around at about, I'd say, 2 meters in height, and then drop down from that conduit whenever there needs to be a plug socket or a light or whatever. And as I said, you can see they've put in a new distribution box. There's just nothing distributing in it yet. They have actually wired directly into the incoming power from this point here via a fuse, which is how they're getting their tools working. So here in the kitchen, you can see a similar principle. You can see where some of the plug sockets are going to go. You can see the conduit running, or will run at least, around the top of the room. And then they've taken out the roller blind. Now this is interesting. This is, for me, why perhaps it was a little bit cold in here, because there's only a single skin, and then we had the roller blind up there. Now there is a lintel along the top, thank God, supporting all of that. But when this window comes out, I'm going to have to make sure that there's some building work done, some insulation put in and so on. But you discover these things when you do this type of major renovation, to be honest. And let's face it, this is pretty major renovation. But we're getting there. I feel that perhaps the majority of the demolition and dust and building work has been created now. And it can only get better from here, really. But I can see progress. That is the main thing. And they will continue tomorrow. So, as you can see, work is continuing this morning. More destruction, basically. I'm looking forward to actually putting things back together. But at the moment, we're taking things apart. Hopefully not too far. So the guys have finished for the day, and the great news is that I think they've finished chopping the walls, at least until the plumber comes. And he'll probably need to do a little less chopping than these guys have. But they finished chopping the walls, they're putting the conduit in, and I just want to show you that very quickly. So all the conduit runs to the distribution board, and what I haven't told you is that we are putting in approximately 60 plug sockets. Now that may sound excessive, and it probably is, but you know, if you're putting in one, you may as well put in two. That's the simple reality here. And I guess when they built these in the 70s, you didn't need the same number of electrical devices. There were about 10 plug sockets. Now we have quite a few more, and that has resulted in the channeling and the chopping and the work that you see. But it will be fantastic when it's finished, and it should last another 50 years with a bit of luck. But the guys are back tomorrow. They will finish the conduit tomorrow. They will start with the wiring, and then they're due to finish on Friday. So the guys have almost finished, and I'm going to wrap up this video. But just before I do, I want to show you where we are, what they've done, and what remains to be done. So most importantly, we now have power and a distribution board with fuses, as you can see. Now you may notice that despite everything being wired, you can see the wire points everywhere, we don't have any plugs or light sockets. That's simply because we're not going to actually install those until this place has been painted. And realistically, that's going to be at least another month. Because in the meantime, we have the plumbing to do, we have the windows to be installed, and the builder's coming back to do some some plastering, and also build us a couple more walls that we've decided we want. So there's still a lot to do, and then and only then will we do the painting, after which Giannis will come back and install the light switches, the sockets and so on. But you can see everything is done now, which is fantastic. And I was going to put plumbing in this video, but I think it's already long enough. So I'm going to wrap it up here. So there we go. Destruction, a little bit of building, a new door. The bathrooms come out. And as I said, we are waiting for the plumber who's starting on Monday. Today's Friday. Monday the plumber starts. Then we will get the builder back to quote for the plastering. The windows are being done. He'll then come in and do the plastering, after which I will start my own stuff, painting, installing a kitchen, bathroom, etc. So I hope this is interesting. I hope it's been useful. And we will continue in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.